Hi, my name is Ha Ho, and today I will be interviewing Ms. Flesch, principal of Meredith Middle School. So let's get to it. How long have you worked at Meredith, and where did you work before?
This is my 7th year at Meredith Middle School, and the transition was a real easy one because I literally moved my things down the hallway from Hoover High School, where I was vice principal for 2 years. And prior to that, I was a teacher and a coach and administrator at Roosevelt High School for many years. 18 years, I believe it was.
Wow.
So I've been around for a while.
What should parents and students expect of Meredith in this transition to be IB authorized school?
I think our parents and our students should expect that our students are thinking about their classwork and their community from a bigger scope. So if we're thinking about solving a math problem or a science problem, we want to understand how what we're learning in our math and science class impacts our community, our state, our country, and the world. So having more of that global perspective. I also see our students becoming a much more caring student body, much more reflective on their learning and their behaviors and how those things impact beyond Meredith Middle School.
What is your vision for Meredith, and how will you get there?
My vision for Meredith, I really want this to be a place where we have a list of kids waiting to get into our building because we're too full. I envision this being a place where kids are learning how to communicate in multiple languages. I envision this being a place that at any given time kids are involved in project-based learning. Kids are working in collaborative work groups on assignments and projects, that kids are excited and really want to be here.
What do you see a principal role in middle school?
Well, my role changes, I think, on a regular basis. My role is to make sure that it's a safe environment for all kids, that learning can occur. I also believe that my role is to make sure that the teachers and the kids have the materials that they need to be successful at school. And again, that it's an environment that people want to participate in.
What is your favorite aspect of your job?
The part of my job that I love is interacting with the students, getting to learn their names, getting to learn something about what they enjoy doing outside of school. If I could spend all my time in the classrooms being involved in what the kids are learning, I would love this job even more.
How does technology help students learn?
I think most of our kids nowadays are more used to technology than the teachers are. Most kids at the very least have a cell phone that they're attached to. They're very used to texting, they're used to computers, and I think that the wave of the future is for kids to learn how to appropriately use their cell phones, appropriately use computers and so forth, to access information, and then our job is to teach them how to use that information and how to research information. But I think technology also encourages kids to get more engaged in their learning. I think kids could be learning about an idea and they might be much more open to that idea if it's through a video clip or through doing some research versus a teacher standing up there lecturing about it. Or if you're working on a project, if the kids have many different choices about how to do that project and they can use different technology, again, I think kids will be more excited to be in school.
What middle school did you go to, and what was your favorite subject?
Boy, that was so long ago. I'm from northeastern Iowa, and it wasn't necessarily a middle school. There was a school that was kindergarten through 8th grade, and then a high school. It was in New Hampton, Iowa, again, which I said was up in northeastern Iowa. You know, my favorite thing was probably just hanging out with my friends, no different than what you guys do. We had a pretty extensive list of things that we can be involved in, you know, so I played volleyball and basketball and ran track, so athletics was a major portion of my middle school. But we had the same subjects as you guys did, reading, math, science, literature, but again, hanging out with my friends and being involved in athletics and clubs.
Most embarrassing moment in middle school?
As I recall, it really wasn't about an embarrassing moment. I was the tallest girl in my class, all of 6th grade. So, I mean, I was this tall. The height I am now is what I was in 6th grade. And if you guys can recall, in, 6th grade is kind of an awkward stage anyway. So I was 5'7" tall as a 6th grader. So I towered above almost all the boys in the class and was one of the taller girls. So I just remember that being just kind of always an uncomfortable feeling.
Most memorable moment from middle school for you?
Boy, I probably would have to go back and thumb through my yearbooks to think of a memorable. Nothing really stands out. It's just that I remember I've always liked school because I could be with my friends. We had a lot of good memories. I lived in a small town outside of where I went to school, so I rode a bus to school every day, and there was a lot of fun on the bus. We used to play cards every morning on the bus. I know you guys think that probably sounds a little corny, but we didn't have cell phones and Game Boys and all those kinds of things back then, so we had to learn how to entertain ourselves, and we always had a pretty heated card game on the way to school, on the way home. So probably some of those things would be fond memories.
Okay, this is the last question. So what would be some motivating words you would have for your middle school students?
You're only in middle school for a few short years. You need to make sure that you take full advantage of it. It is really hard to kind of figure out where you fit in. You need to learn how to be comfortable in your own skin. Especially for girls, I say we need to be learning how to take care of ourselves and be responsible for ourselves. We need to learn how to take care of ourselves. Just to really learn how to be comfortable with who you are and what you are. Make sure that you surround yourself with good friends, make good choices, and just take advantage of being a kid for a while. 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, pretty soon you're grown up and have to do all those grown-up things, so just enjoy being a middle school student.
Well, this concludes all of our questions, and thank you today for doing the interview.
Thank you.